Well, first things first, I actually thought that Jimmy Garoppolo played a pretty good game, especially the first three quarters. He played very well, but the final drive, things did not go well. It wasn't just him. They did actually have some things go well, but let's just get into it. Let's talk about what happened. We'll start things off of this play, which I actually really liked. A really good job by Kyle Shanahan, I think, to dial this play up to start things off. What you're going to see is that they're going to send Emmanuel Sanders in motion to the bottom half of the screen. And if you look at those two Kansas City players, you're going to notice how they kind of shift over a little bit. See how they move back like that? This lets Garoppolo know it is man coverage, like you see on the screen. This is a man coverage play. What's going to happen is that it's actually a cover one robber. If this was zone coverage, then it wouldn't be anybody's responsibility to run over to the bottom half of the screen. So you know it's man coverage, and typically it's a great time to run the ball when it's against man coverage because everybody playing man has to look at the person that they're trying to cover, and therefore they can't look at the middle of the field and see where there is a potential handoff. So Garoppolo is able to just hand the ball off right there, and just like that, they're able to get all the way to the 30-yard line. They're able to get the first down just like that. And that was just a great play call, I thought, to start things off because you had time left, you know. Obviously, Kansas City is expecting a passing play, but you still have time. You're still a great running team, and when they're expecting a pass to the degree that you know they're going to be almost definitely playing man coverage, why not run the ball, see if you can gain some yards? Just a smart play to start things off by Shanahan. And Garoppolo was then able to make a couple of nice plays to get the ball all the way to the Kansas City 49-yard line. And so from this point, they're definitely in position where they just need a couple first downs and they can even potentially start thinking about the end zone. And so first things first, just get another first down. There's a minute and 49 seconds left. You have all three timeouts. You have all day. Just, play it out as though it's a traditional drive. Just try to gain some yards. For Kansas City, again, it is man coverage. It's going to be a cover two man this time, which is great for San Francisco since they have a receiver running that route right there. And not just any receiver, that's Deebo Samuel, who had just a fantastic game, and he had a fantastic postseason, really, and he's so good after making the catch. So if you can get the ball to him, and this is a route that is good against this coverage, so without a doubt, Garoppolo is going to look in that direction, and after the ball is snapped, as you see, Samuel is just open. So Garoppolo ready to hit him, but there's one problem, and that problem is going to be Chris Jones right over there. And you might be saying, wait a second, he's getting double teamed. Why would he be a problem? But you're probably not saying that because you watched this game, so you remember what happened. Jones just puts a hand up, slaps it away, and that's potentially a game-saving play, honestly. I mean, Samuel could have easily gotten a first down here, and honestly, with the way he can move in open space, who knows how much more yards he gets after that. So the fact that Jones was able to prevent that, that's just a fantastic play by an elite player. We all figured Chris Jones would come into effect at some point in this game. We didn't figure it'd be in a play like that, but either way, just being smart. You know you're getting double teamed, you've been taken out of the play, just put your hand up. Fantastic play by Jones. So then on the very next play, it's now second down and 10, of course. It's still going to be cover two man, and so they're going to run a very similar play. They're going to have that receiver run that route. Jimmy Garoppolo likes this play. That's where he's going to look. And as you see, almost instantly his man is open. It's a great route against this type of coverage, especially when the defensive back didn't create any contact at the line. Makes things very easy for San Francisco, and so Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to throw it in this direction. However, there's one problem, and that problem is currently off screen. It's actually going to be Fuller who dives, and he nearly intercepts it. Actually, that ball was tipped, and it was tipped in a way that I think if it wasn't tipped, that probably was intercepted. I think the tip at the line actually saved Garoppolo on that play, because it looked like it was going to go a little bit closer to the middle of the field had it not been tipped. So kind of a little bit of a, luck is involved in football play there. But the reason that Fuller made that move is because really clearly Kansas City had the mindset of, if you have a chance to make a play, make a play. While it is a cover two man, the two safeties who are deep were not playing that far deep, so they were able to break in and potentially make a play to, try to win the Super Bowl. They're playing aggressive, but you know who noticed this? Kyle Shanahan. He realized this, and so he said, hey, their safeties are playing aggressive. Let's see if we can do something here to maybe get past the safeties. Let's see if we can win it right here. So once again, it's going to be a cover two man with the safeties, again, pretty close in. And so he's going to have Emmanuel Sanders run a deep route. Hopefully Emmanuel Sanders can get past the safeties and potentially get open. You can debate this call, I suppose, if you want to, because it definitely is risky. I mean, you're trying to get a first down more than anything. It's third down and 10. If you don't get this completion, then it's going to be 4th down and 10. However, if it works out, you could potentially get a touchdown. And it is going to work out. Emmanuel Sanders gets past the safety. He beats his own man too. So now he's just completely wide open. I mean, you have this much separation deep down the field. This is the best way you could have hoped this play could work out in terms of a receiver getting open. You're past the safeties. If Jimmy Garoppolo makes this throw, just like that, San Francisco retakes the lead, and now Mahomes has to try to get a field goal with a minute and a half left, which maybe he still does, but even then it's overtime. So this would be a huge play if Garoppolo can make this throw. And that's kind of what makes it so heartbreaking because, he misses it, and he misses it by a pretty good margin, actually. And that's just, that's a tough one. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo, I hope I'm wrong, but that's the kind of play that you never get over. He had a chance to give his team the lead in the Super Bowl with a minute and a half left, and he just missed the throw. That's the opportunity you dream of when you're, in the backyard, when you're just playing football by yourself, throwing a ball against the wall or whatever. Or that's what Jimmy Garoppolo probably always wanted to do, and he just missed the throw. That's just tough. It's a heartbreaking missed throw, but at the end of the day, for Kansas City, you got away with one. And, Mahomes missed his share of throws too, so the game isn't over yet. It's still 4th down and 10. So let's move on to that 4th down play. It's once again for Kansas City. No point in getting creative right here. It's worked 3 times in a row. Let's see if it works a 4th time in a row. Let's not try to overthink this. However, for the 49ers, they are going to overthink this a little bit. For one thing, they have 2 backs in the game. One of them is actually George Kittle, just lined up as a back. So they have 2 players in the backfield who are just going to be blocking. And I gotta be honest, I don't think I fully understand this. Because it's a 4th down and 10, you have to know that there's a very good chance that man coverage is going to be coming here. And in man coverage, if you're in man coverage and your assigned man starts to block, then you're supposed to say, okay, I should run over and rush the passer then. That's kind of the way that works. So that way you don't lose an extra player. You can just sort of run into him, take him out of the play, and then you have a chance. So the extra blockers doesn't really do too much, and also it is going to hurt you because now you only have 3 guys who are trying to get open with 5 Kansas City Chiefs who are going to be in coverage. So you don't have a numbers advantage here. You really don't. All 3 of these routes are also deep, which again could maybe be a mistake. Maybe you try to get something open about 5 yards down the field, hope that your receiver can then just make up the extra 5 yards. That's something you could do. I understand why they didn't, but after the ball is snapped, you look at this situation, and yes, Garoppolo is under pressure, but George Kittle is open right here. If Garoppolo sees this and flips the ball to Kittle, he could have tons of room to run. Because again, this is man coverage, but Kittle's assigned man decided to start rushing the passer. He got past Kittle and decided to see if he can get to Garoppolo. But if Garoppolo then just flips it to Kittle, Kittle has all day basically to try to run up and pick up a 1st down. And even if there is contact just before the 1st down marker, well, he's George Kittle. He's not exactly an easy guy to bring down, and he's somebody I would trust to try to pick up 10 yards after making the catch. Not exactly a dream scenario, but in a perfect world, this is where Garoppolo would look. However, I think with Shanahan's play call, and again, it's kind of tough to tell. We can't see what's going on outside the screen right now. When I have the all-22 footage, I'll probably break this play down again so we can really get the details. But basically, I looked at the other angles, and basically just what Garoppolo wanted to throw it to was deep down the field, and it just wasn't open, and he was hoping it would get open. And so he's not looking at Kittle. There's some contact. He then just in desperation tries to flip it up to a halfback. An offensive lineman touches it. It's just a disaster. And also, Garoppolo was ruled in the grasp, which I don't know. Again, it didn't matter, but how do you make that call? Regardless, didn't matter, so who cares? But I wouldn't have made the in the grasp call with the Super Bowl on the line. That's just me. But either way, I'm not going to blame Garoppolo on that one. I did feel like I had to point out that, yeah, had he made an unbelievable read and saw Kittle was open, they could have potentially gotten the 1st down. It's hard to blame him. Honestly, the only play I would actually blame Garoppolo on was the Emmanuel Sanders throw. That is just, again, I said it before, it's heartbreaking. It's got to be so tough to miss a throw like that. But that's the only one I would actually put on him. I thought Garoppolo as a whole played pretty well. He missed a couple of throws late. That one was the only one where it's you got to make that one. This one, it's kind of one of those plays where it's you don't have to make it, but the greats do make this type of play. And sometimes to win a Super Bowl, you have to make a great play. Garoppolo didn't on the 4th down and 10. and he didn't even make a good play on the 3rd down and 10. Again, worth mentioning that even if they score a touchdown, there's a very real chance that the Chiefs are able to march back down the field and tie the game or win it. So it's not like the game would have been over, but I mean, yeah. It's got to be tough for Garoppolo. I also figured it's got to be tough for John Lynch. Talk about a bad weekend. You thought you were maybe going to go into the Hall of Fame and win a Super Bowl in the same weekend. Instead, you don't get into a Hall of Fame and lose a very close Super Bowl. I mean, that's a brutal weekend. I feel bad as a Bucs fan. You know, I love John Lynch, but that's got to be tough for him. But yeah, I mean, we can blame Garoppolo all we want or try to blame Shanahan, but I actually thought they both did their job very well. I thought Garoppolo played well. I thought Shanahan coached well. They both had definite mistakes throughout this game, no doubt about it. But Andy Reid had mistakes throughout this game, and Mahomes had plenty of mistakes. So that's just football. When you're the losing team, you're going to get some more blame. I thought both these teams played great, and it was a shame one of them had to lose, but unfortunately for the 49ers, it was them. Also, just before I go, just letting you guys know, there's going to be plenty of videos coming out. I'm going to stay up all night making videos, basically. So, if you're going to bed now, make sure you check out my channel in the morning because there will be plenty of videos. And if you're going to be insane and stay up like me, well then enjoy the videos being posted periodically throughout the night.